Hello, my name is Kiran Garimella. I'm a postdoc at MIT. This is joint work with Kirill Martinov and Robert West. Kirill was at TU Munich, now is at Google. Bob is in EPFL. This is work that I did while I was at EPFL. So the idea here is to measure the effects of clothing on weight perception. So does what you wear make you look slimmer or fatter? So if you look at popular newspaper magazines, right, like popular magazines, there is a lot of suggestions and tips on how you look thin. So some of these, which are very popular in popular culture, are don't do anything, don't need to exercise anything, just wear dark and automatically you appear slimmer. There's another gem which is just avoid horizontal stripes. These horizontal stripes make you look fatter. So in this work, we want to see whether these are true or not. There is actually some related work in this space done by psychologists. So this is called the Helmholtz illusion, which debunks or this commonly known perception that horizontal stripes make you look fatter. But there is no agreement, right? Like, so there are studies that show the opposite as well. And the problem with most of these is that they're lab-based and they're artificial in their setting. So we want to try to see something, if you can do something in the wild. And we get data actually from Reddit, where from this weight loss forum, where you have ground truth annotations for pairs of images. So these are weight loss images. This is a before and after. And the person himself or herself has annotated their age, gender, height, and weight. So for each image in each post, and then we ask a crowdsourced annotation for perception of weight. So given each such image, we ask, okay, can you guess the weight of the person in this image? And so we try to set this up using 3 variants of clothing. So whether you're wearing solid light, solid dark, or clothing with horizontal stripes. And so the resulting final data set, we have ground truth labels from the Reddit, users posting themselves. We have crowdsourced estimates of weights that people judge based on seeing these images, and then also labels for each of these classes based on what the people in the image are wearing. Is it solid light, solid dark, or striped? And then the research question we have is whether there is any difference between wearing clothes of these 3 categories. Which of these makes you look the slimmest? The first study is based on a very is observational. It's based on this approach that you take averages within each class and then conclude what makes you look the slimmest. But the problem is, you will have these sort of self-select biases. So instead of measuring, does dark make you look slim, you might actually measure if slim people wear dark. So to overcome that, we eliminate the dependence of clothing on weight by matching every dark person to a light person of equal weight, and then computing the effect as the average of difference of people wearing dark minus people wearing light. And the results are here. So if you compare the difference of weight perception of people wearing dark to people wearing light, there is a significant difference. So the p-value is significant. For light versus stripe, there is no difference, significant difference. For dark versus stripe, there is again a significant difference. So conclusion from this study is that wearing dark makes you look slimmer compared to wearing light, which is almost the same as wearing stripes. Okay, so this is the first study. The shortcoming of this study, even though we kind of made this sort of control, because these images are taken from the wild, there are lots of confounds of backgrounds, postures, clothing styles, facial expressions, where the image was taken, the lighting, and a lot of these kinds of things. So to overcome that, we performed an experiment where we fixed, given a person, we had 3 variants of the types of clothing they wear. So for each person, we generate these 3 using Photoshop. So given a picture, we ask a Photoshop expert to generate 2 other variants. So if the person is wearing striped color shirt, then we change that to a dark and a light. And the same, so if a person is wearing a light colored clothing, we change it to a stripe and a dark. And so again, we asked crowd workers, given these three, can you guess the weight in each of these clothing? So the results are like this. So for dark versus light, there's no significant difference. Light striped, again, there's no significant difference. Dark striped, there's no difference again. But the effects are in the same direction, right? Like so, but they're not statistically significant, probably because I mean the number of pairs here is slightly smaller. So next, in this study, we asked actually, can you guess the weight of the person? Which is, we have some previous work that shows that this kind of exact weight guessing is a very hard task that people might have biases on. So the more easier version of this is give two images and ask which of these two weighs less. So to do this, we use the same triples as we had in the previous study. So this is study 3. This is experimental, but based on a match sample. So again, you match people based on their perceived weight. So for instance, these two are different people, but they're matched by their weight. And because we have three variants, like dark, light, and stripe from the Photoshop, you can have different variants and compare these different conditions. And in each condition, you ask which of these looks slimmer. And so here's the result. From light to dark, you get a significant slimming. From light to stripe, there's no difference. So this is in consistently with the other two studies. We find that wearing dark makes you look slimmer, whereas the others does not have a significant effect. So again, just to conclude, there is this conventional wisdom from all your fashion magazines that tells you that wearing dark makes you look slimmer, wearing stripes make you look fatter. Existing literature from psychology have conflicting results. They show both sides from this debate. So to overcome that, we did this in the wild kind of a setting where we got data from Reddit and then annotated it with crowdsourcing and then performed some experiments. And the takeaway message is that definitely there is a solid evidence that wearing dark makes you look slimmer, but there's no such difference between wearing light or stripes. And the advantage of dark is relatively small. So this is roughly 2 to 3 kg absolute gain, or 2 to 3% of gain in the pairwise comparison. So not really that much. So thanks a lot. And if you have any questions, you can email me or my co-authors. Thanks.